All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot going on in the Delphi case, right? We're coming back 360 of all the vehicles that were there. How many vehicles? Nobody really knows, right? It's kind of weird and crazy. So, is there a connection with Delphi and maybe LaGrange, that girl that was missing that was found in a field that was dead? We're not sure. Was it the vehicle, the brownish truck at Delphi that was parked on the side of the. What vehicle was it that was parked on the side of the building, right? Now, we've been through numerous uh, vehicles, right? It was a purple, supposedly a purple uh, PT Cruiser. Then it was a black Escort. Then it was a white truck. Then it was a black truck. Then, brown, white band, all kinds of colors in there. And then you had the guy that was real short, anywhere between 5'6", 5'4", to 5'10", 5'11". So that's a big, huge gap there. Anywhere from 170 pounds, I think they said, or to 250 pounds and over. So I don't know, a lot of crazy stuff, but I do have one question. Whose phone? Let's take a look real quick. All right, let me share this. Hold on a minute. All right, let me share something here real quick. Hopefully, you folks can still hear me. All right, this is supposedly Abby on her phone. What color does that phone look? Well, that depends. It could be purple. Some people say it's pink. It does look pink. It could be a phone cover. It might not even be the other phone, but that's her supposedly using her phone. Now, the phone they found at the crime scene is, hold on a minute, let me share this. As you can see, we got some dark clouds coming in, possibly snow. All right, whose phone is this? Now, this is supposedly at the crime scene, the phone that was found. It does look purple. I'm not seeing no pink on it. It's a purple phone. Now, whether that's a cover over the phone, I don't know, but there's the phone they found at the crime scene. And as you can see, it looks like there's possibly snow or frost uh, on the leaves and moisture that is accumulated on the phone. So if that one phone is supposed to be Abby's, whose phone was this? And did Abby have a cover on her phone, a phone protector? That would be my next question, right? How many vehicles were involved? We don't know. From what the witnesses are saying, there was numerous vehicles there. Now, could there be a connection between anything that's going on up in northern crime in Indiana and Delphi with the same people or whatever? Possibly. We know this much. They're looking for a short dude, stocky, short, and they're looking for a tall guy, big, heavy guy. Somewhere in between. I don't know. Is that just what they're giving us, right? Who knows? But whose phone is that they found? Was it Libby's or was it Abby's or was it someone else's that was just a drop phone? Who knows? And we're going to go over this video later on today, maybe tonight, because it's just the whole thing is not adding up. I'm still leaning towards what the federal government was saying is it's a giant ring of them. It's it's a club like they might not have been there, but they were affiliated with certain people that connected them to certain things and clubs and gangs and all that. So it makes sense to me. Now, whether that's not what happened or is not the case, I don't know. You got to go with what the circumstances was at that time and the area and the state and the things that were going on in that area and this and in the whole state at that time, right? And at that time, there was a problem out here. It was all over the news. Now, I don't think these people, these news channels, I watch them every day. I don't think they had any reason to lie. Not at all. Uh, you know, so whose phone is that? I don't know. I imagine they're going to say it was Libby's. If not, it's somebody's. I don't know why that phone looks different than the other phone that she was seen with on camera right here. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's a protector phone thing that you put around your phone. But even if it is, well, it's missing the phone protector, the pink thing. Now, it's very possible the very top of that is purple, being that it's shaded or the light ain't hitting it right. It might be purple, but I'm seeing pink and a black side or a black back to it. Something. I don't know. I don't even think they're the same phone. So, how many phones did they have? Maybe they got an upgrade. Maybe this is an old photo of Abby using her old phone or Libby, and she upgraded right before the crimes or something. I don't know. Possible. Hello, Aries. How you doing? Now they're saying it's Richard Allen, and it very well might be Richard Allen on the bridge, but we can't see his mouth talk, and we don't hear no gun. We don't see no gun. We see the young women do exactly what he said. Didn't sound like they were scared. Uh, at that point, when they were given an order and they had a feeling something was wrong, I don't know why they didn't start screaming. or call 911. But here's the real freaky thing. The guy, thy Lord is breaking through the clouds, giving us some sun out there. Uh, is the killer left the phone? And these people, well, she hid the phone. No, she hid the phone underneath her foot, right? Uh, I don't know. Maybe she did drop it and step on it. But even though, if that's the case, the guy undressed them. He surely had to know. Are you telling me the guy just got lucky and put the shoe on top of the phone and didn't know the phone was laying there? I mean, it's too weird, right? If she had a phone on her and it was hidden in her pocket, like everyone in the beginning of this case said 7 years ago, 8 years ago, that she put the phone in her pocket. Well, then guess what, folks? If the killer undressed them girls or made sure they didn't have anything on them or anything like that, he would have found the phone, and he surely wouldn't have left it. So what are we dealing with? Well, some crazies. You don't do something like that. You know there's a phone and you leave it. You leave it behind. Probably not. Not unless you are a psychotic, and that's your calling card. We got to see what other kind of crimes in the area or in the state that are like that. A lot of people are saying, well, the bullet could have been the calling card. Well, you're very well might be right. The bullet might have been his calling card, thinking that he would never get caught because it was never fired. But these people, he was in the military. He had to know. If that was Richard Allen's weapon, he would have had to know. Being a military man, no matter if you shoot it or not, once that round comes out the ejection hole, the chamber, it leaves tooling marks on everything. So he had to have known that. He couldn't have been that stupid. He might have known. He might not even have realized he racked one through. And do we know where they found the bullet? Not really. They said it was in the ground, 2 inches underneath the bodies. It might have been right on the bridge. Supposedly, these people are saying, well, you can hear the gun rack. Well, that might be where they found a unspent round was on top of the bridge in them rocks. We really don't know. We weren't there. We don't know. Ari says, put it in her pocket and start on this. This video was said to be up in 48 minutes. That's what I remember. Robert Lee said there was multiple voices in the background. Yeah, yeah. Doug Carter said the same thing, and other police said the same thing, that there was numerous voices in the recording other than Abby and Libby's. Now, we've been through a lot of YouTube videos, folks, and a lot of these people have done their own thing to it. Some of them have cleaned it up and said they can hear a woman in the background. It very well might have been a woman. It might have been a young teen. It might have been numerous people as this was occurring were actually on the bridge. We're not sure. How long did he stay there? Did anyone see him leaving and just thought he was just a bypass, innocent bypass person or whatever? He would have been muddy or at least wet, bloody. Who knows? We really don't know. So there could have been many voices on the recording. How long was the recording? We know it was longer than 49 seconds. If this is the only footage or recording they have, then they're in deep crap because they're, this looks like a Sunday stroll with the girls and maybe family members or something or something. They don't seem shocked. They don't seem threatened. Maybe at the very end, At the very end, when he gives them orders, maybe you hear just a little bit of, but I don't even, and like someone said in my chat the other day, that video could have been taken 6 months ago and they just uploaded it that day. We don't know. We don't know. The girls are dressed like it's a spring day, a fall day or something. They definitely were not. They weren't dressed to do this geological geographing uh, at all. They were in probably their favorite gym shoes. You're not going to put on gym shoes like that if you're going to be going through mud and trees and looking for geocache, right? You'd be wearing junky clothes, boots, and jackets or whatever. You're going to, if you're going to be going through water or whatever, looking for this crap, it just don't make sense. And then the whole time sequence, which we're going to go over this video tonight. This little lady's got a good point. The whole thing, what they said in the beginning, is not what they say at the end. Their stories have changed numerous times. It's just phenomenal. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, there could be a connection with plenty of other cases in Indiana and Delphi. Not being Delphi, but the same people that were involved in Delphi could be doing other crimes, even in this small little town of LaGrange, Indiana. We just don't know. As far as some of these professional YouTubers are saying, it's crazy. Completely crazy. You have your own mind. You make that opinion up. Hello, Miss Rebecca Ann. So if that's Libby's phone in this photo here, then surely it must be a phone cover or something. It looks pink with a black back, possibly black top or purple. Nor that very well might be a cover that's on there. But if that's that phone, then as this little lady that made this video said, so whose phone is this? Dun, dun, dun. Who knows? We'll get to the bottom of this later. What are we dealing with? I don't know. Is it witchery? Is it sorcery? Is it bad people? Is it just it's gone crazy? Maybe. Who is the short guy? Who's the tall guy? It's like the fat and tall guy or whatever. Who's the short, stocky guy? And who's the tall guy that was 250 pounds or looked like he was a bodybuilder? Where are these people? Your guess is as good as mine. And I would be safe because we don't know about all these people are talking about all kinds of stuff. Let me see what Aries is saying. Well, Livy was caught talking to a 19-year-old in December 2016. Phone was reset or replaced. Then her phone was recently or reset 2 more times. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Was it her? What's the photo with her sticking her tongue out? A lot of people been talking. I mean, I'm shocked because other people are like, hey, man, what? I don't know. We do see this. right? We do see this a lot, but not, I don't know if I can talk about it, but yeah, who knows? It's it's crazy. The whole thing, it's just literally nuts. And then you throw in secret societies and witchery, warlocks, and all this stuff, and madness and old fables. And you got yourself a perfect storm of who done it. Right? I don't know. We'll get back more to this video tonight. You got some good points there, Aries, Miss Rebecca Ann. There is no wrong scenario because all of it's possible. Even they created this whole thing to bring people to their town or to make money. Well, it's possible, right? This HD TV running around and everything. All these towns want them to come to their town and redo it and fix it all up. Just for future reference, I might be able to do that job for way under what they're going to pay. Who knows? We don't know. We're just citizens, YouTubers, voters, law abiding citizens, right? It could be numerous people. Even the video, the voices ain't adding up to me. I'm not 100% that that's Richard's voice. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And I'm saying that because I haven't heard enough of his voice. Clearly, everyone, well, you got the ski lift chair thing that he was on. Yeah, you can't hear crap in that. You hear you don't hear his voice like what you hear on the recording of BG, of the murders. So I'm not saying 100% that's his voice. It might be, but I haven't been able to get my hands on good enough recording where he's talking long enough to hear his vowels and tone of voice. So I got 7 or 8 voice guys that could be the voices on there. Well, Ron Logan, it's Ron Logan. It could have been. It's this guy. It could have been. Keep an open mind. It could have been 500 or 600 guys, if not more. If it's a big club or ring or whatever it is, yeah, it could have been thousands. Like I said, they might not have done the murders, but they were connected to these pedos or whatever. Who knows? Right? And I imagine their friends are probably pissed off that weren't involved or didn't even know that they were sickos sharing photos, right? How would you like to be one of their friends, right? Keegan Klein's friends. You get knocked at the, who is it, right? FBI. And you know this guy? Ah, yeah, we're buddies. Yeah, he just gone to prison for murdering 2 girls. Who is he? I never met him. I don't know who he is. Yeah, I'd be flipping out too. There's a lot of effing names involved in this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And half of them probably did it to themselves. And no one's been cleared. They keep saying, these people, they've been cleared. They weren't cleared. Well, how come the police are saying, no, we never cleared anybody? These people are making video. Oh, they were cleared. Well, that's funny because the police are saying they weren't cleared. How can they be cleared if the police are still on the TV saying no one's been cleared? It just don't make sense to me. I don't know. It could be what the government was saying. You might have to bring in military. You might have to contact the Pentagon and bring in military just to protect us citizens. They've gone crazy. The police were on the news saying that they said it was on the news. The militia said that they would help the state police out if they needed help. What the heck is going on where you got to have the state militia come? It, it's kind of crazy if you ask me, right? That's telling me they know there's a problem, and if they need to, they'll use the militia. But the same people that you are hunting for might be in the militia. They might be military guys, ex-military guys. They might be right underneath our noses. A whole secret society of dark robed candles lit everywhere, and people going, some kind of crazy chant or something. I'm scared. I'm going in my bunker. Place is crazy. Haunted. Indiana's one of the haunted places ever. I'm looking at the video. I got orbs, giant orbs in the background. Now, once again, it could be a giant wasp nest. All right. But it's funny because you can see the trees in front of it. This thing is behind the trees. And it's in the sky. I'm just saying. I'm not pointing anything. It's anything other than what we're seeing in this footage. Now, a lot of people, well, it's the sun. The sun ain't black. This thing's got a color to it. It changes from white to black to shiny. Who knows what it is? It also could be a drone. It could be a small drone, and they did something with the film. They could have been filming this whole thing with a drone, right? If there's rumors out there that this was some kind of a film that they were making for sexual content to sell or whatever, well, it's very well possible. Yeah, very well. It wouldn't shock me at all. And it's just, is it coincidence that they both, Keegan Kline and Richard Allen, lose the phone that they had that year? They can't find it. They can account for all the other phones they had, but the year of 2017 is, they're all missing. I bet you everyone involved's phone is missing. I bet you everybody had to get an upgrade that year. I don't know. I'll be back later. I want to thank Aries and Rebecca Ann for stopping in, and all great people with great opinions and theories. And at this point, there is no wrong theory. I mean, we know this much. It wasn't Bigfoot. Alien? Maybe. Demonic? Probably 100%. But Bigfoot? No. That's about it. There's a lot of effing names involved in this, a lot of names in the families. The family should have known. A lot of people should have been, they should have. Well, like I said, it's 101 investigation. They probably started with all the pedos or kitty people that have been arrested down there for doing stuff. They probably started with them. That's 101 protocol. If there was any pedo child molesters in that town, they probably started with them first in the investigation. If they thought there was foul play and all this crap. And they might have just did that and got lucky. Why it took 7 years, I have no idea. Who knows? I will be back later, folks. Now, folks, keep an eye on the weather. This is going to be a crazy month, up and down. We're going to have warm weather, and then we're going to have more snow in the middle of this month and at the end. It's going to get warm, then cold with snow, and then warm with storms, and then cold. It's going to be an up down pattern, but the jet stream is starting to settle in. So I know it's crazy. People are you kidding me? At the end of March, we're supposed to get snow? Yeah. Yeah. And I can remember back when I was a kid, like I said before, in Chicago, having snow even in April on the ground still. So it very well might be a change in patterns that only happen so many years, maybe even thousands of years. We don't know. So keep an eye on your weather in your local towns. God bless everybody. All glory goes to God. And I'll be back later. Have a good day.